guys, welcome to the channel today. I had to go in and work a little bit this morning, and I pulled up home, and my Stumpy is out here doing something exciting. So let me show you. He's on the tractor. Well, hey honey, what are you doing?
Hey honey, I am out here. Boy, it's going to be in the 70s this week in South Alabama, and God bless all y'all up north with the cold weather.
Actually, I just talked to Denise, and they're, in Nebraska, it's 65. It's only,
well, it's, yeah, but they'll get some more cold. We're about through with our cold.
Yes.
As far as harmful.
Yeah.
So I got out here today, and I got the animals fed and all like that, and the disc was on the tractor already. And so we had a cover crop planted here. We had some tillage radishes, or
I thought it was turnips. There's turnips.
Well, there's turnips out there too, but they're daikon radishes, or tillage radish, turnips, and clover. And since I had the radishes and the turnips in there, I decided I'm gonna disc it a couple of times and cut that stuff up, the roots and all, and let it be deteriorating or whatever.
For what?
We got about 100 pounds of taters we're gonna put in there. And so what I'm gonna do today is just disc this up real good, and then hopefully I can come back Friday or Saturday and tiller it, and it'll be ready to plant. I hope.
We hope.
I hope. But if it ain't, we'll get them in the ground next week for sure.
I was talking about the soil. I'm up here high now. Look at that soil, how rich it is from the cover crop. And what that cover crop does is it replenishes the nitrogen back into the soil and all those nutrients. Plus it helps with weed control. Yep. And pests.
And my old buddy up north there, old Andy and Megan, I was talking to him the other day from True Grit Homestead. I was talking to Andy the other day, and here a while back we got 6 inches of snow, and he said, you just watch out. He said, you'll make a good garden this year, because that snow puts nitrogen in the dirt. And we did. We had about, I don't know, maybe 5 inches of snow. And what was that, the 1st of January? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And but anyway, get back busy, and I'm gonna get this little tater plot. Like I said, we're gonna plant 200 pounds. And so if they make 5 times, we're planting 100 pound, 250 pound bags, 100 pound. And so if they make 10 times, that'll be 1,000 pounds of potatoes. Be a lot of potatoes.
That will be a lot of potatoes.
But, we'll see how it goes, but boy, howdy, ain't nothing like. If you enjoy gardening and getting out and getting the soil ready, there's nothing like the smell of that fresh turned over ground. I mean, it just, it lets you know it's getting close. And so, y'all hang around. We'll have some more videos here shortly of putting them taters in the dirt.
So what we've done in the past is we've plowed it, covered it, tarped it, and let it sit for a couple weeks, uncovered it, tilled it again. If it was dry, we wet it, and then covered it again, and let the tarp kill the weeds in there. This time we're just going to till this up like he said, let it sit. We're going to disc it up, let this sit, and in a few days he'll come back with the tiller, and he's going to till all of that green, all of that roughage back into the soil, and that's going to help build our soil. Plus, again, with the snow that we had, the nitrogen should be rich in there, and so that'll be a good place. We'll probably get a good corn crop this year, and that feeds on nitrogen. And the onions should do good too, I think. But anyway, he's getting that disc up, and that looks beautiful. We'll definitely bring you along on that. That's exciting. So, it looks just like a weed, but that's cover crop, and it's serving a purpose. And it's good. It's all good. We're so excited. The memories I have, you know, of my dad. You know, we'd get ready. And when it's potato planting day, everybody's out here and we're putting potatoes in the ground. We also have a field trip coming back to the farm from the local, well, it's our church school. They usually come once a year to the farm. And we educate all those little kids on growing their own food, but we're going to do a little experiment with them on the a potato tower and see if that does. But they're going to have an opportunity to plant some of our potatoes as well when they come in about a month or so. We'll show them how to plant potatoes because I'm not sure everybody knows where potatoes come from. Okay, Stumpy's done disking up this area. He went over it, you know, crossways and another way and changed directions. So he's done. It looks very lovely. This was the area that the last thing that we had planted in here was a couple years ago, and it was broccoli. We didn't plant anything here last year. We had cover crop, so there's been cover crop planted here for almost 2 years. The last food crop we had planted here was broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, if you remember that. But this was the plot that was planted in. And then of course, last year, the year before, we planted our potatoes up at Jace's house in the garden up there in that fresh soil. So, but now this is ready and it looks lovely and we're excited about getting that planted in potatoes. So y'all just stay with us. Hey guys, what are we up to? Potatoes.
Going in the house and getting our knife.
We are getting our potatoes ready. Yes, we got 2 bags. And for those of you who don't know, we'll just educate you a little bit. Your potatoes have eyes on them. And for every eye is a possibility of another potato. Now, we could cut every eye off and use it, plant it, and make a potato plant with it. But that would be a lot of potatoes. Stumpy's just basically going to cut them in half. And we're going to get them ready and allow them to chit for a few days. That will be dry over and...
C-H-I-T-T-I-N.
Yeah, chitting. Yes, it sounds ugly, but it's not.
No.
We're going to get them cut up in this box and leave them in this box until we're ready. This Saturday, we're putting them in the ground. So, normally you would chit them for 2 weeks maybe before you get ready to plant them.
It doesn't matter. I mean, all it does is the starch comes out the side where it's open and it heals over, which in turn, you know, helps it not to rot when you put it in the ground. But we're just gonna do them a few days because we need to get them in the ground.
Right. It is almost, well, a couple more days and it'll be March 1st. And so we usually plant our potatoes down here on February 14th. You know,
it was too wet and too
cold.
cold.
We had that freeze come through last week or the week before.
But we're in South Alabama, and the problem we face with potatoes down here is heat. You know, the heat will kill them, and you want them to have enough time in the ground that they can produce a nice potato, a nice big potato.
Is that like you want it?
Yeah. So, you know, you want to give them time to make that potato. They'll do all right. They'll grow and you know, keep sizing up as long as the weather is halfway cool. But once it starts getting in the 90s, which it will be here in a couple of months when these are maturing out or getting ready to mature out. So, you know, sorry. Some of them got a bunch of eyes on them. Some Some of them not so much.
Excuse me, Oakley.
Trying to make the best out of them.
Is this the first year we're not gonna have any?
We got some Kennebecs to plant.
Oh yeah.
Some white potatoes. Jason wanted to plant some of them. Just a few. I think Eric ordered a few. He was gonna try making him a box.
A tower.
Or a tower, potato tower.
Yeah.
And which they'll make. I mean, potatoes will make just about any way you plant them. Just
You
about
can plant them. We've seen them planted in straw.
can't go wrong with a potato.
Yeah.
And usually they'll make from 5. I've seen them all the way up to 10 to 15 times their weight. In other words, you plant 10 pound, you can get 50 to 100 pound very easily. Is what they'll produce.
So there's what we got left in that one bag, and then we have another bag right there that we got to do. Oh, it's nice.
It makes you want to get out and do stuff like that.
It does, and we always get bit. We always get bit though.
I think it's about.
Think we'll have another?
Yeah, we'll have another frost. I mean, we are in the deep south, but my daddy in one year, I forget what year it was, had corn knee high, and it snowed in March and killed it. I think it was the second week in March.
Yeah.
But usually we get a little Easter snap, but potatoes can take a little. They can take a little frost. It sometimes will bite them back a little bit. The leaves on top will turn yellow.
Oh, gotcha.
And but unless it comes ashore enough, what we're not worried about is several days of freezing wet temperature. That'll make your potatoes rot.
In the ground.
In the ground. Excuse me. Just a little cold snap. I mean, like a night. Something like that. That won't hurt a thing.
I just realized Levi's gonna miss out on this potato planting again this time.
With all of us around Saturday morning, I get out there and lay off the rows. It won't take but it won't take an hour to get them planted. I love early spring stuff because usually the weeds hadn't started getting bad.
Or the pests.
Or the pests by the time these will get ready. This, snap beans and squash, you know, some of the first things that make, maybe cucumbers. Down here anyway, I'll put it to you like that. Make us a lot of meals when they start making.
Good meals.
Lord willing. When they get ready, you know, I've talked about it in other videos. I used to take the smaller potatoes first because they'll ruin quicker than the big potatoes. I'll take the small potatoes and can them. Then we'll store the rest of them in the barn on some racks we made. Y'all seen that video. It's for us. It's an exciting time of the year. But there's nothing more sustainable really than potatoes. Even though they're in two different families. Sweet potatoes, I think they're in the nightshade family. No, these are in the nightshade family. Sweet potatoes are in the morning glory family. And they're nothing more sustainable. Because we can plant, I can take you over there and show you the barn. Even though they probably swiveled up and all now. But I can take you over and show you last year's potatoes. And, you know, we can plant what's left of them. So really, unless you just want to buy them every year, you know, you can save your old potatoes.
Yep. I can remember when Dad was alive. He made us cut every eye, didn't he?
Yeah.
That had to be the generational thing, because
Well, if you got plenty of dirt and you need your taters to go further, you can cut every eye. If you're doing some of this like in some raised beds or something, you don't have that much room, you can plant the whole potato. It's just really a matter of if you cut the potatoes, I think I'm saying this right. If you cut the potatoes, you'll make more potatoes, but they won't be quite as big.
I was thinking.
But if you plant the whole potatoes, you'll make fewer potatoes, but they'll be bigger potatoes. I think that's right.
So how many bags did we have? 2 bags, and they were
2 50-pound bags.
So 100 pounds total.
100 pounds total should yield, even on a bad year, you'll make 5 times. So you should have 500 pounds at least. If they make good potatoes, we'll have upwards of 1,000 pounds. Probably more like 750.
The last time we did 500 pounds was with Dad, was a while, wasn't it?
Not 500.
We made 500 pounds.
But that year, I think we just planted 2 sacks that year.
Gosh, it feels so good out here.
But potatoes are
Whew.
easy peasy. I mean, if you want to do something and feel successful about gardening,
Potatoes.
potatoes.
Now, don't. Well, yeah.
Not that, you know, we've had rougher years, but we always make some.
We had a year where we had potato bugs. They were so bad.
Yeah.
And it was on the only one year we had potato bugs.
Yeah, well, I learned that year the best thing in the world you can do to prevent potato bugs is to plant in rotation. You know, rotation. Don't plant potatoes in the same spot
Every year.
a couple years in a row.
Yeah.
If you do, you're going to have potato bugs. I don't know why that is, but maybe somebody like Greg over at Hall's Tools can shed some light on that for some of you, but it's just better if you rotate.
And that really, right after that, was the year that we really delved into trying to learn about rotational gardening.
Yeah.
And ever since we've rotational gardened, our pest control has been
Yeah, it's much better.
much better. And Denise and I were talking too. We got some plans to do out there in the raised bed area. I know y'all wondering if we're ever going to finish that task. We will. We will. We're waiting on the guys to get done with all their projects so that we can finish that last raised bed. We need to get it up so that it'll be another bed to plant stuff in. And then of course we want to get grass growing out there. And
You don't have to worry about that.
well, I know I won't, but I do want to keep it cut and trimmed up. You know, where it would.
Grass will grow anywhere, because I hate grass.
He hates it. He does hate it. He hates it. Although, he does appreciate a well-manicured yard. He has told me he appreciates my love for, my desire to keep it clean.
If I'm going to put forth in very much effort to something, it's going to be something worthwhile, like food.
Like food. Right.
You know, I guess I could eat grass if I had to, but I don't really want to.
And I just like a well-manicured yard. I like a well-kept yard, and
I don't mind cutting the grass. I ain't no real big weed eater fan.
I like,
Flower beds are beautiful, but
my flower beds around my house are all sentimental.
low maintenance too.
And they're low maintenance. But they're flowers that I got from either my mom and dad, or
Grandma.
or my grandma. These amaryllis that I have growing around here, they were from my grandmother's yard, and so every year that they bloom, I always think about her. I always tend to my mind goes to them anyway this time of year, because they also enjoyed it. They were.
Well, when they was coming up, it was a necessity because you wasn't gonna eat if you didn't get out there and plant a garden.
Well, I think we're getting to that here. And
Well, that's the truth. You know, even though I think our new administration is going to do a lot better job than our last one, I'm not going to get into politics, but food prices is, well, I always say this, you know, let me just say this, and I said it before on a bunch of videos. If you get out and you do this and put forth some effort, at the very least, you're going to save money. Because these 2 sacks of taters cost us about $60. We're probably going to make $600 to $800 worth of potatoes if we had to go buy them in the store.
And a 10-pound bag in the store today, I bought one today, was $6. 10-pound bag, I think. No, $5. I have to look at my receipt. But
well, even at $5, you know, 100 pound would be $500. And so if we make 500 pound, that'd be $2,500 off of $60 worth of potatoes. We'll make $2,500 worth of potatoes. Of course, now some of them are ruined, some of them you won't never get around to eating all of them, or leastwise we hadn't never. But like I said, you don't have to waste them.
sorry.
You know, if you can judge, you know, how much you eat and all, it'll just save you a ton of money if you don't mind a little work to go along with it.
We have a few jars of potatoes left, not many back there that were.
No, I didn't do quite as many last year,
Right.
which tells me I need to up my game this year. You know, I always like to,
Well, we like them fresh best.
well, yeah, you like them fresh best, but I always like to try to plant and make and put up enough stuff of one item like potatoes and jar enough and all that'll last 2 years, because you don't always make a good crop. And
No.
next year, you know, something could happen, pest infestation or whatever, and then you wouldn't have no potatoes if you just planted enough to last a year. And so the hope is to make enough to last 2 years. If we do have a bad year, we'll have enough for the next year, and then hopefully, I've never had like 2 bad years in a row. Well, I say that. There's probably one year, 2 years in a row, we had trouble making sweet corn, but that's the only thing I can remember. We still made some, but most of the time, the way it goes, you know, snap beans, potatoes, stuff like that, you know, you do make enough of them to put up, you know, and have for 2 years. And I like to have extra stuff like that. If we got something in church or some kind of function, you can dump out 3 or 4 jars of potatoes and snap beans and put them in a bowl and warm them up, and you're good to go.
Yep. So,
all right, guys, we got 2 boxes of potatoes.
second part video
Cut
to
up.
our potato journey, and then you'll be with us this weekend as we put them in the ground.
We'll stick them in the dirt.
Yep. We'll see y'all on Saturday.
We'll see you Saturday.
Hey guys, today is potato planting day. It's a beautiful day out here, and we're gonna get blistered. Eric has sunblock on, and I should have brought it out here for us, but right now I got sleeves on because I'm still cool. Danette said it's hot, so yeah. We have already showed you how we prepared this plot, that it was just cover crop. And earlier in the week, Eric plowed it, or disced it up, and then a couple days ago he tilled it and has it prepped. And so we're going to let Eric tell you how we're going to plant this year. A little different. He came up with a different idea, so yes. Let's go do it.
This year I want to laying off the rows. We're gonna put some fertilizer down. I'm gonna cover, what is it? You need me to look?
Well, y'all turn your back.
I was telling my wife this year we're gonna try to see Jason's covered it up, the fertilizer. We plowed out a furrow and not too heavy stuff. He's covering up the fertilizer, and then we're gonna come back and drop taters right here. And then we're gonna come back with this side and cover up the potatoes. We can use some more of the other side too.
Here we go. Look at our helpers today. Who do we have? Farmer Beckett.
Right there.
And Daddy Anthony. Showing them exactly what to do.
Right there.
Goodness, we had some sourdough honey buns for breakfast. And Denise made some sourdough English muffins, and so we've got everybody fed. Don't walk in there, Beckett.
No.
A lot of carbohydrates. A lot of carbs for today's work. Yep. There you go. So here I go. So they're going to be laying the potatoes
Right here.
through, and come right here, and you see Jace is covering up.
Yep, we'll get down there.
Covering up the fertilizer that we threw. Him and Eric both. Eric's using the natural hoe,
Right here.
his boot. I ain't been over this much since last year. Since last taters? Since last taters.
Right there.
I'm following you, Becky. You gotta stay ahead of me, buddy, because I'm trying to line up with you. You gotta stay in your row. Keep going.
Yeah, we're gonna get down there, buddy.
Go. I'm
go.
following you. You gotta keep going so I can lay out just
Right
like
here.
you did.
Yep. And then you keep going.
I'm trying to line up with you.
So right there. Now keep going down.
You better get busy,
Here.
boy.
We'll do like that. There you go. Just like that.
We're gonna have more potatoes than we can. Plus we got Kennebec coming. Plus, yep. These are the old reds. Got some Kennebec. Now those Kennebec Eric's gonna do in towers. He's gonna do potato towers. We're gonna try that and see how that goes.
We're gonna lay off at least 2 more rows, maybe 4. We still got a lot of taters. And I'm putting them thick.
Go finish my row.
You want to finish that one?
Go finish my row. Go finish Niecy's row. Okay? Everybody's hoeing, everybody's working.
We plant 2 rows of snap beans.
Amen.
Or more than that.
I More. We plant, is it?
Well, I got 200. I got.
Are you doing bush or?
Yeah, I got bush and I got vine.
Need to get a.
I gotta put the. I'm gonna put the trellises up today.
Well, I got.
Oh, good.
I got the lima beans, butter beans, but they're climbing.
I got plenty of them, son.
Yeah, we got a lot of our seeds.
Not the Christmas stuff.
Oh.
These are a different ones.
Oh yeah.
They're a green butter bean.
Okay, sister, that's
We're
a wrap. What was our totals? We got 9 rows of red potatoes
And 1 row of Kennebec.
and 1 row of Kennebec.
Yep. So the potatoes are planted. Now we're going to do some rows for some snap beans.
Get our snap beans in the ground today.
I just sowed a few more carrots. This is the latest I ever put carrots in the ground, but it says we could do them till the middle of March. So I just sowed some. I'm gonna wet them real good. If they come up, they great. If they don't, I haven't lost anything because our carrots didn't make that much in the raised bed that I've done already. So
Boy, this
see.
weather's giving us fever, isn't it?
It is. I want to plant flowers so bad, but I gotta wait for the last frost.
I'll tell you what we could do today too. We could lay off our flower beds for our
Figure out how we're gonna do that.
potato garden.
Yes. We gotta get on this.
All right, guys. We planted the potatoes, and then we planted our Hoss green blaze bush beans. We had very good luck with these last year. Mr. Greg gave us some seed at the Petals from the Past, the fall event that we do every year. And we tried them last spring, or this was 2 years ago he gave them to us. And we tried them last spring, had very good luck with them. They're heat tolerant, they grow better in the heat. But we planted 2 probably 60-foot rows, and we planted them about 3 inches apart. And in every other hole, we put 2 seeds in each hole. So to ensure we had a good stand, we got 2 rows of snap beans. The girls are working on more running snap beans right now, but we're going to plant plenty of snap beans because we run out of them this year. But we are excited to be getting some seed in the ground. It feels good to know that we're getting some food in the soil, growing, preparing. We just finished deer season. We filled the freezers up with meat. Now we're going to try to fill the freezers up with some vegetables. But y'all stick with us, and we're out here on this nice, beautiful, sunny Saturday, just planting some seed, enjoying some time. Thank y'all.
Anyway, that's a wrap for Potato Day. That's
Yes.
it.
That's all it is. As Stumpy always says.
A sip of life is a much more enjoyable life.
We'll catch you on the next video.
Yep. Bye.